Festus! How many times did I call you? You want to kill all of us in this house, right? You will kill all of us, for you have peace.
Obin, please, I want to go inside. I'm very tired now.
You say you are tired? What have you done today that gives you the right to be tired?
As for this house, you are not coming inside today. At least not while I'm still alive.
Go on, walk!
Long ago, in the village of Amanku, lived a family, the family of Mr. Ichedioa. They lived in a very dilapidated hut on the outskirts of the village. Mr. and Mrs. Ichedioa had 3 children, a boy and 2 girls, named Chiamaka, Amanda, and Neka. The family of Mr. Ichedioa was very poor. Mr. Ichedioa, who used to be a farmer, had recently had his land snatched from him by one of the village chiefs. So he was currently not working, but was endlessly looking for something to do. Amanda and Neka assisted their mother in her petty trading business, and would also do manual labor jobs for people from time to time, while their brother, Chiamaka, had just started a small fishery business beside the village market. It was from the little money they made collectively from these businesses that they managed to feed themselves. They were barely able to afford a complete day's meal for everyone in the family, and this made everyone very unhappy and depressed. Mrs. Ichedioa was particularly frustrated and tired of the whole situation. She was tired of living hand to mouth and all the suffering, which made her very hostile and nagging towards her husband and children. She would usually shout at her husband at every opportunity, and whenever her children asked if she had prepared any food for them, she would respond, "Why are you asking me? Did your father bring any money for food? Go and ask that useless father of yours," she would say in anger. She would also look for every slight opportunity to fight with her husband, provoking him seriously, so he would lay his hand on her, and then she would beat him up, seeing that she was far younger and more energetic than he was. Her parents had married her off at a very young age to Mr. Ichedioa, who was a very wealthy farmer and trader at the time. One day, as Mr. Ichedioa came back from his usual daily search for work, he found his wife standing in front of the gate to their compound with her hands on her hips. She looked very angry. "Good evening, my dear. What is the problem?" he greeted and asked upon noticing her expression.
Festus!
She said, calling her husband by his first name. "Festus, Festus."
How many times did I call you?
"Festus, what is so good about this evening? What is so good about this evening, eh?"
You want to kill all of us in this house, right? You will kill all of us, for you have
She
peace.
shouted, grabbing her husband by the shirt. Mr. Ichedioa gritted his teeth angrily, but kept his cool. He was already used to his wife's usual antics, so he wasn't even a bit surprised. He knew his wife was just agitated about the situation in the house. They all were. Trying his best to keep his cool, he turned to his angry wife, gently pulling her hands off his shirt as he said,
Obin, please, I want to go inside. I'm very tired now.
"We can discuss whatever the issue is later," he said to her in a tired voice, but the statement only provoked his already bitter wife further. "Who is OBM? Who is OBM? Festus? Don't call me that ever again."
You say you are tired? What have you done today that gives you the right to be tired?
Is it the gallivanting around the village square all day that makes you tired? Your fellow men are busy working. Only the gods know what you have been doing with your time. She then paused and glanced briefly at the gate before turning back to her husband as she continued. "As for this house, you are not coming inside today, at least not while I'm still alive," she said, covering the gate with her body and her hands fixed to the sides of the gate. "You must go and find work like your fellow men. I will not continue feeding you in this house while you just walk around the village aimlessly every day, pretending like you are looking for a job. That will stop today, Festus. Leave this house now. Go and get something doing for yourself," she finally said as she tried pushing her husband out of the gate with one hand while still holding onto the side of the gate with the other. Mr. Ichedioa, clearly tired of his wife's display, tried to go around her into the house, but she just pushed him away defiantly. Mr. Ichedioa, who already felt very insulted by his wife's actions, wasn't having it anymore. He charged towards her by the gate, pushed her out of it, and then entered the house. His wife immediately dashed into the backyard, but oblivious to her malicious intentions, Mr. Ichedioa paid her no mind. Just as he was about to enter the house, Mrs. Ichedioa reappeared from the backyard with a pot of boiling water, which she poured all over him. "That serves you right, stupid man," she said after completing her evil deed with a devilish smile. Mr. Ichedioa screamed out in disbelief. He had always known that his wife had her own problems, but he never thought that she, the woman he had taken very good care of all these years, would do such a thing to him because of a petty fight.
Chiamaka!
He called her by her first name in a very astonished tone.
Chiamaka!
"What did you just do?" he said in English. He had luckily jumped out of the way when the hot water first struck his skin, but unluckily for him, the water had already touched and burned his chest. "Are you all right?" he asked while still holding his scalded chest. "You just poured boiling hot water over me because of a petty fight? Chiamaka? When did you become like this? I never thought you, the woman I have known, loved, and taken care of all these years, could be this wicked," he finally said in disappointment, walking inside without sparing his wife a second glance. Mrs. Ichedioa, on her own, wasn't even remorseful, not one bit. She was only angry that the hot water hadn't burned her husband completely. "Come back here, you stupid man," she said. "Did I even say man? Who made you a man? You are nothing but a stupid boy," she said, pursuing her injured husband. "Hey, Mr. Boy, look at me. We are not done with our conversation yet," she continued. When their children came back and saw the massive injury their mother had inflicted on their father, they were very astonished and angry. They knew their mother always behaved terribly towards their father and had several horrible antics, but this was something they hadn't expected, even in their wildest dreams. "Mama, did Papa just say you did this to him?" their eldest daughter said as she rushed from their father's side to their mother, who just stood by the door, staring blankly and unrepentantly. Their mother, unfazed by her question, didn't even glance at her, let alone answer. "Mama, answer me," she continued, demanding answers as she grabbed her mother by the shoulder and shook it violently. Her brother, on the other hand, had already rushed to their mother, holding the side of her wrapper while saying in a menacing tone, "Mama, if you don't speak up, you might not like what I will do." But Mrs. Ichedioa remained unfazed. She shrugged her daughter's hands off her and said, "Why are you people asking me stupid questions when you have a stupid father? Go and ask him all your questions. He will answer you. You people should stop disturbing me. I want to sleep." She said this as she stormed out of the room. The son wanted to run after their mother, but his sister held him back. "Agozi, just leave it. No matter how we talk to her, she's never going to say anything. She's just going to continue raining abuses on Papa, and Papa doesn't need all this now. He needs us to take care of him, not to be busy fighting with Mama. Let's go," she said, steering her brother back into the room, away from the door to where their father was lying. Chiamaka took one last glance at the door, biting his lips in anger, and then followed his sister to tend to their injured father. One day, as Mrs. Ichedioa was returning from her shop in the market square, an elderly man approached and stopped her. "Good evening, Naani," she greeted him. "Hey, beautiful woman, how are you doing?" the elder asked. "Thank you, Naani. I'm fine," Mrs. Ichedioa replied, smiling. They had a brief, light conversation, and then the elder suddenly told her,
"Do you know how beautiful you are, woman?"
"I have been monitoring you, and I have noticed that you usually take this path on your way back from work, so I decided to meet up with you today," he said to her while staring at her luridly. "Thank you for your praises. I really appreciate it. The pleasure is all mine. I want to show you my hut."
I want us to continue our conversation there.
Mrs. Ichedioa hesitated at the suggestion for a while, but then she obliged him with a smile. "Okay, Naani, let's be going," she said, and with that, she followed the man to his house. When she entered the hut, she saw a kind of magnificence she had never known existed in her life before. The design was exquisite and intricate, and everything in the house looked so expensive. During their conversation in the house, she discovered that the man wasn't just a village chief as she had suspected upon inspecting the house, but was actually the richest of all village chiefs.
That man get
The
money
one
well
whose
out.
praises were always sung in the area where she lived. "Naani, your home is very beautiful," she remarked coyly. The elder smiled with pride and then said boastfully, "You haven't even seen anything yet. Wait until you see my bedroom," he said as he steered Mrs. Ichedioa in the direction of his bedroom. Mrs. Ichedioa followed him, and indeed, the bedroom was just as magnificent as he claimed it to be. As she was about to turn to leave, the elder hugged her from the back, and they began making out in the room. When they were done, the elder asked her, "Beautiful woman, You haven't told me your name, he asked curiously. Chiamaka, she replied while still smiling from what had just happened between them. She was very happy to have finally attracted a rich man who could cater for her. Okay, Chiamaka, can I see you tomorrow? He asked. Of course, she said, still smiling. She pecked him on his freckled cheeks before leaving his house. The following day, she visited the rich chief as she had promised, and like the previous day, they made out again. And like that, the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, and the two continued their clandestine affair. One day, during one of their clandestine meetings, as Mrs. Ichedioa was about to leave the chief's house, he pulled her hand and said, "Chi, I love you so much, and I want you to be with me. I want you to move into my house tomorrow morning," he told her while staring at her expectantly. "But you know fully well that I am a married woman. How can I leave my husband and children to be with you?" Mrs. Ichedioa said, feigning concern for her family. She pretended to be concerned, but deep within her, she was very happy that the chief had finally said what had been on her mind for the past couple of months. She had been looking for a way to leave her husband and had expected the chief to suggest something like this, but just not as late as he did. The chief stared thoughtfully at her and then said, after a prolonged silence, "Look, Chi, I am fully aware that you are married. You have even told me that before several times, and I am still telling you to stay with me. What does that suggest to you?" He paused, looking at her for a moment before continuing. "I want you to leave your husband and stay with me. You have complained to me 1,000 times about how irresponsible and poor your husband is. I would be able to take care of you very well and give you the kind of life you can never dream of having with your husband," he said, still staring at her with intent. "But how about my children? Should I just leave them like that?" she asked, still appearing innocent. She had long planned to abandon her children if the need arose. "You can come with them if you wish, but I doubt your husband will allow that, so it's better you come alone. What do you say, Chi?" he finally asked. "Okay, I will think about it. Tomorrow then," she said and left. The next day, when the entire household of Mr. Ichedioa had woken up, they were shocked to see their mother with bags already packed up on her way out of the compound. Her first son rushed up to her, stopping her in her tracks. "Mama," he said, running up to her. "Mama, what is this? Where are you taking all these bags to?" he asked, his mother looking confused. "I'm leaving this house and your useless father. When he gets up, tell him I've already left, never to return," she told her son defiantly. The son, in utter confusion, continued going back and forth with his mother, not allowing her to go, which attracted the attention of the other family members. "Mama, where are you going?" the first and second daughters asked in unison. "Obum, you didn't tell me you were traveling," Mr. Ichedioa commented, still oblivious to the entire situation. "Festus, I warned you several times to stop calling me that name. I am not your heart. Go and look for it elsewhere if you lost it. And yes, I didn't tell you I was traveling because I'm not actually traveling. I'm leaving you in this godforsaken house," she said, storming off. As Mr. Ichedioa realized what was happening, both he and his children moved swiftly to beg their mother to reconsider her decision, but she just shrugged them off and stormed outside the compound gate without sparing her husband or even her crying children a second glance.
They are both in a relationship, but I want it
for myself.
Can you help me, Chi?
I thought you are in a relationship with my friend Adani.
I never really loved Adani.
I just wanted to use her as a medium to get to you.
She was the bait for the bigger fish.
But soon, her surprise was replaced with pride in Afika's words. She felt elated knowing that the rich trader loved her, not Adan, and was merely using Adan to get close to her.